Good morning. Good morning. I'm sorry for everybody who's on, but I spilled my whole coffee right before the show. So I don't even have coffee now because then I had to come. So good morning. Buenos días, mi gente. Hola, Milagro. Today, the Badass Buddha is in Costa Rica. And we have Pookie, Jonathon, who should be coming on soon. Y ahora somos nosotras. Here we are, and I'm trying to get everything on. Mira, just a thought, just imagine me, La Margarita, dropping her whole cup of coffee and then having 5 minutes to run and come and do this. So estoy. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Kathy. I am wondering where's Pookie because I don't. So yes, so what are we going to talk about today? Conversations at the barbershop, because it is at the barbershop, at the hair salon, everywhere. Donde está el bonchinche, where they have you up on the latest news, whatever's happening all over the world. Sometimes it is the best place to just sit at because the conversation flow and the energy can be really outstanding, and it's like a classroom setting. You learn. Some stuff you don't need to hear, other stuff you're like, wow. Why didn't I know that before? So we're going to start today with our intentions. The intention, grateful, gratitude. That's my intention always, is to be grateful. And the mantra that we normally say is, I am a disruptor. I don't even know the order it goes in. Spiritually grounded. I am unapologetically courageous. I am magically orgasmic. And I keep it real everywhere I go. And Jonathon's in the house. Ooh, boy, we're both behind like the dog's tail. So what are we going to talk about? Normally we discuss a lot of different topics before that, and coffee. So what we'll talk about is, I don't have coffee today. So I hope Jonathon comes really prepared to talk. Because sin café, it's like no gasoline in my tank. I'm not going anywhere. So we're going to, I want Jonathon to introduce himself. I know that Jonathon is a business owner, a proud father, and a very happy husband. So let's see what he's going to bring. I do have a couple questions, but other than that, we're going to roll like we normally do. So bienvenido. Good morning, Chanel, to Jonathon Pookie. Here we go.
Hey, good morning. What is up?
Oh my goodness. That I dropped my coffee and I got so upset and I got red like a cherub. But
Nobody's seen it though.
no, but I don't have coffee.
Oh, you're flushed out. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
You
what
gotta get.
that's
Well, I
what
got you. I take care of you today.
okay. So tell us about yourself, Jonathon.
So first, my name is Jonathon. Everybody knows me as Pookie. Born in Bridgeport, but technically raised in Stratford. My mom did most of everything by herself. Met my stepfather later on. I was still young, but stepfather, new guy, you're not all in about it, until you get older and realize stuff when you're hitting your teen years. But there was a lot of drama. Just because you're from Stratford doesn't mean you have it like that. We definitely paycheck to paycheck. I was working, helping mom paying bills, and I was a big brother / dad to my little brothers. I have two younger brothers that we grew up with. They stole my clothes, my sneakers. So it's everybody deals with the same crap, same bullshit. But I would just grew up, my dad's around in my life, my real dad. But for me, he wasn't around like that back then. We used to see him, visitation stuff. You grow up again. I learn about it. I deal with that stuff now. So I can't hate on him because you just don't know what happened between them two. So hey, I can do what I can do now, and that's it. But with all that said, my stepfather too, same thing, different guy he is now than he was back then, but alcohol played a big part of that life. So I went through that drama and, police and fights in the house, outside the house, and me leaving and sleeping at friends' houses for days or weeks at a time. And we've been through it all. So with all that said and done, I still worked. I still got straight A's at school. I played sports for school and outside of school, and it kept my mind busy. That was my way to get out of my craziness home.
Mhm.
And at the same time, I was able to see where I can take that and what can I do to get out of this? What can I do to not come back to this? So, I went to college and I figured out, hey, I like this barbering thing. It makes good money. I'm my own boss. I could do what I want to do. Fuck what everybody else says. I don't care. I was the guy that at 18, I'm able to get a tattoo. I got a tattoo on my neck with my name on it.
Just in
Why
case you
would
got
you
lost.
do that? What's that?
Just in case you got lost. What's your name?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
the,
What's your name? Yeah. And I forget that it's still there. But it's like why would you do that? You're never gonna, back then you couldn't have tattoos like that. I have tattoos all over the place.
Mhm.
But
I
I
know.
didn't I didn't care, because I knew that you can put me in a room with anybody and I'll leave with friends, I'll leave with business partners, and that's just something that I had to learn. And because of that, it made me a great entrepreneur. I do more than just barbering. I do pools on the side. I sell jerseys and stuff if anybody needs sports things. I mean, that's not like legit stuff. It's not crackhead. It's not black market. It's legit stuff. But it's nothing that I sit there and promote and be like, oh, I have this store, and it's just things that I like to do. But again, because of what I can do for myself, I can do it, and I don't care what anyone else has to say. My family's great. My kids are great. I have my son and then my stepson now, and my wife. I'm actually right now. This is why I'm outside. I'm taking advantage. I'm visiting my mom down in Charlotte, so I'm outside because once I go home, I'm not gonna be able to sit outside. It's 60 degrees out, so why not? Let's do it.
That's wonderful. That's what I was gonna ask you because you know, and just the maturity to say back then they're not the same person they are today. Back then, and yeah,
Hmm.
back then, I mean, it was a little. It was hard for people of color. It was harder for Latinos back in the 70s, early 80s. My recollection of life. I think I'm a little bit older than you, Pookie.
Mm.
But um and the way you say that, and I love that because it's not that was so important. My stepdad, he's not even the person he was back then. Your dad, all of that is so important to say. That's like very pivotal. I wrote it down when you were saying it. And then you're a stepdad now, or a bonus dad, right? Or you have a bonus son. I hate that
Yeah,
word
yeah.
stepdad unless they're evil, you know. So, and how's that going for you? Then we'll get into the barbershop. How is your Gabe? How's your son? And then his bonus brother. Do they
Yeah,
have they gone?
it's great. We started when we moved in together the first time. It was a little, we I had my own home. She had her home. So the plan was to go to her home. She had bigger bedrooms. It just worked out better, especially for the boys because they had to share a bedroom in the beginning.
Oh,
And then they got along great. They're almost 3 years apart, like 2.5. Her son's a little older. He's a teenager now. But in the beginning, he liked it. That was his room. This is my room. You know what I mean? When he got dressed, Gabe had to get out. Gabe went and got dressed in the bathroom. And and Gabe would come to me and but dad, I mean, but it's our room, right? And he's little, and I'm like, it is, but I have to break it down for you. You know what I mean? We're stepping in their space, so we
mm,
have to tread carefully. They have to learn us. They have to trust us. And you're no different from me with my wife now. Like this is a new brother. This is a new relationship, regardless, a situationship, and you have to kind of suck it up.
yeah.
But it's gonna make him a better person because now his mom afterward had two other children, and Now he sees the relationship that he has with his new big brother, and
Mm.
it helps him over there.
Oh.
And I see all that, and it's like everything has to do with one another. And it's okay to, like, I took Gabe and I talked to him like I talk to him like I talk to you. I don't give a shit about the cussing. I don't give a shit that if I'm loud, this is how I am. But
Mhm.
he understands it. He knows what the F word is. He knows what shit is. He knows how to use it. But you will never hear it out of his mouth.
Not in front of you.
No,
Absolutely. That's a smart
no,
kid.
of course. But as a real guy, I know that when he's with his homies at school or online or whatever, they're using it, and it's okay. So
Yes.
what? As long as he knows what he's doing.
And how to use it in the right context. See, that's good.
Yep.
It's important. See, now that's beautiful, and the way you can break it down, because there's changes in everything, and it doesn't matter. And for you, you know how many parents I know have blended families and done exactly. They were in your shoes. They moved into that territory, or the the main person got the dwelling, and then you move in with yours, but it's just a blended thing there. And where the mother got so upset, she took it out on the other kids and fought with the husband. And I just don't
Yeah.
understand that concept of life when you knew that there's going to be a blend. And with that
Yeah.
blend, there's going to be bitterness, there's going to be a bit of confusion, there's going to be outright tantrums, but then you got to let them work it out on their
You
own.
have to.
It's like sports. You got to let them figure it
They'll
out.
figure it out, and you're gonna get aggravated. But in the beginning, you have to, like, kind of, he's doing that again. But you know what? Let it be. Maybe at practice, maybe on the side, we can talk and say, hey, I noticed this, I noticed that. This is how I do it. Maybe you can learn. Maybe we can try this. If not, you just shut up and suck it up and see how it goes. But if
Like
you're gonna
everybody.
get that aggravated with if you're gonna get that aggravated with anything though, life, work, anything, people at work bother you. I get coworkers. Um, you fix it or suck it up or just leave. That's really simple. It's A, B, or C, and stop diddle daddling and change that shit.
you know and not a lot of people um learn that until like the very end when they're destroying the relationships with everybody.
Hmm.
And it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard with your own kids.
Of
I'm fucking
course it is.
be aggravating you, and then to be adding in that extra salt in the wound when it could just
Yeah,
figure it out. And I
of
think as
course.
parents, that's how we assist our children in maturing, is not meddling when they're dealing with another person their age or a little older, a little younger, because you know what, they're gonna fight today, and tomorrow they're gonna be playing. They're gonna be
Yep.
throwing that ball to one another or whatever. And when we get involved, all we do is it's like teaching them hate, teaching them that you're better than somebody instead of allowing them to learn one another. So that's great.
Yep.
So how long were you a barber?
See, I started cutting hair when I was 12. I was probably good in high school. That's when I would consider myself good, where I can actually talk junk about other people's haircuts. Um, that was my first business promotion, was talking junk. Where'd you go? Oh, it's nice, right? Nah, I can fix that. That's how I started. Um,
You
but
were
I want to
walking.
be. I got my license at 19, 20, but I was already cutting in a barber shop part time. And then once I got my license, I went full time. That's when I realized that's what I really wanted to do. So I've been cutting here with my license for 19 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and I love it. And you still learn every day. It's fun. It's fun. I don't even have a job. You ever see those posts and people are like, describe your job without telling what your job is, or describe it in like a messed up way? And I always say, people pay me to, what did I say? People pay me to hang out with them. That's what I describe my job.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe yes, that is awesome. People pay. Okay. And what would you say is your most outlandish conversation at the barbershop? Barbershop, that's what I want to know. What is your most extreme conversation? Now I know that do you get more male clients than female clients?
Yeah, I probably have altogether maybe about a dozen females that come in, whether it's a couple eyebrows or you see them for a trim once a year or twice a year. I have definitely have a handful that come in and they do stuff like you. They have the shaved sides or the back gets shaved, or even those little pixie cuts. I do those too. So
Oh,
obviously it's more men, but you do have them in there once in a while, so it adds a little different flavor, little different mood settings. It calms me down, I guess.
wow. Okay. But I just want to go back to your walking advertisement because I
Mm-mm.
just said she loves that. So you started this when you were in high school. You were already making yourself known. Like I can figure.
Yes,
Like where'd you go? Like don't
I
go
was
there again.
I was the kid with the book bag. I had I had my book bag with me 24 hours. It didn't whether I mean, obviously I had it for school, but then I'd go home and then all the books will go out. The clippers, brushes, everything will go in, and I pack it in there with a cape and towels. And I'm telling you, I would go to parties. I would go to people's houses. I'd be riding my bike around town, and you run into people, you hang out, you play, and then it's like, you got your stuff with you? That was the word, your stuff. You got your stuff? And I'm like, yeah, why? Yo, I need a shape of bat, or can you would you all I mean, I've been at parties, we were teenagers in high school going to house parties, and I'm in the kitchen giving someone a haircut, and they're passing drinks around and music, and it was just like the movies, like you walk in and it's like, what was that movie where like Drumline, remember that movie?
No.
Well, Nick Cannon, well, he had to shave his head off at one scene, and he walks into like a room, like a dorm where everyone is like having like a party, and he just pulls out like a pair of clippers to cut it off, and then it's like everyone's like, "Yo, I could do it, I could do it," but they're like, "Nah, nah, nah, nah." Pook got his bag; he's gonna do it. That's how it was.
That's awesome. So you made money while you were having fun
Yep,
and you were building up your skill level
yep.
by practice. Oh, okay. That was pretty cool. So, what's important to men?
The same thing that good women want. This is a big thing we talk about with relationships with the guys. A lot of women try to understand men, but then the same the other way. A lot of men try to, I don't get this girl, this bitch, man, what the fuck? It's like you hear these, and it's like, I get it, dude. I've been there. I've been through the bad and ugly with my son's mom. I've found myself. I've stayed by myself. I've dated in between, but I kind of like now I know what I want, and I know what I need. And now that I found it, and now I see, and then I tell these guys like, listen, this is gonna happen. And instead of trying to figure out who they are, what they want, you're not going to figure out women's feelings. It's not going to happen. But then the same thing, women, you're not going to figure out men's feelings. And if a man has balls enough, because it's really big balls, to come up to you and have a real genuine conversation, or tell you, hey, I don't like the way this is going on, or I do love the way you do this, or I do like the way you look, or I don't want to do this because I can't stand that person, or I just don't like you and this is why, but I want to fix this. When you have guys coming to you to say these things, shut up and listen. Forget the, well, about time, or
Yeah.
oh, you're just saying this because of
Sarcasm.
whatever. Yeah, why? And then it's never going to work, because that good guy that you're looking for, it wants the same thing that these good women want. We want that genuine, heart loving thing. I want to feel loved. I want to feel cared for. And I want to come in and know that, oh, damn, like I'm not expecting my wife to cook dinner when I come home from work. I'm not expecting that. I would love it because she knows what time I'm usually going to be home. But when I do see and I walk in and it smells good, and it's just like, that's like the best feeling. So then when I go up to her and rub her ass while she's at the stove, you're not going to get of, oh my God, it's so deliciously amazing in here. Like, this is not Romeo and Juliet in real life.
Yeah.
But pay attention to that. See, she notices that. She tells me all the time, she's like, you're not big on words, but your actions. Like, she's always telling me how, like, you're lovey-dovey. And she's like, but you're this manly man, so you don't really put it out there vocally. I'm
Mm.
not one to post pictures on Facebook, and you see my stuff. It's random. You see a haircut one day, and then there's Super Bowl boxes the next day, and then I'm gone for 2 years. I don't know. I just do what I have to. But it's so I had a girl that come in one time. She brings her son,
But
and
wait,
he's
wait, wait,
older.
wait. I need to go back because you mentioned your wife, and I just need to say
Okay.
what I try to tell people and what I'm actually putting together with the power of color and languages. She she learned and accepted and appreciates your love language.
Hmm.
And when women and men don't discover what each other's love language is, that's where the expectations comes in and the assumptions.
Hmm.
Expecting them to know you enough to know what you like, right? Oh, they how long you been together? He should know what I like.
Yeah.
And the assumption that he should be loving you the way you want him to love you, and vice
Hmm.
versa. But not everybody is with the words. You know, you got the gifter, you got the doer, the person of service that'll wash your dishes and mow the lawn and take the
Yep.
garbage out. That's his way of saying I love you.
Yep.
Organize the bathroom. You know, so that's great that you found somebody who understands the five love languages and knows that you are not going to sit there and be comforting to her or blow smoke up her ass. You're just going to be who you are. If people learn that, especially, what's your age now, Jonathan?
38.
And especially, yeah, anything under 40, that's where you're seeing a lot of breakups. You're seeing
Yeah.
unnecessarily so because the love is there, but you gotta eradicate expectations
Yeah.
from your life because nobody owes you anything. And then learn the person, and they sell those books, and they're very thin to read. Look it up online.
Hmm.
5 love languages, and learn each other that way. Start at least to learn each other. So that was great. Thank you. Carry on. You had a guy.
So yeah, so I had this girl come in. I cut her son's hair for a long time, and we're doing the haircut, and she was like, "What's wrong with me?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, what's wrong with you?" And she's like, "I don't know. Like I was talking to this guy, and it's been a few months, but then now it's like he just disappeared. He's not answering my messages." And I'm like, "Okay," but I'm like, "Are you just telling me, or are you asking me?" And because she knows how I am. And she's like, "But no, but like, what do you think? Like, am I a bad person?" Or I'm like, "It has nothing to do with being a bad person." I was like, "You ready to get real?" I was like, "Well, did you let him do you?" And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I'm serious. Like, you don't have to answer this, but I'm pretty sure you already did." I was like, "But did you let him get in there?" And that plays a lot because I see her social media. So when she puts herself out there, she's one of those. Let me take a picture of myself.
At everything.
Got the lips out, her booty sticking out in this picture, but then yet you're walking around with your 6-year-old son by yourself. So you're going to attract a lot of guys. It's okay to look cute and put yourself out there like that, but that's what you're going to get. Because I told her, I said, because a good guy like me, that's nice to look at, but that's no different than watching a video or watching a music video or watching Nicki Minaj or going to a strip club. It's lovely to look at, but I don't want my wife looking like that. I don't want my wife posting herself out there like that. So I'm not going to treat you like a potential wife. I'm just going to treat you just like everybody else. And that's all you're going to get. So when you cut that shit out, work on yourself, a good guy will come along and be like, "Oh, she's quiet. She's cool. She's keeping it moving. She's got her shit together. Her kid is on point. She's not out and about all the time," because that's what I want.
Yeah.
But but instead of her trying to figure out why he's not, figure out yourself first.
We're not even going to go on that because, that is
I
like
know.
my subject. But I think that, so you hear that and then you tell her that. And
Yep.
does she, okay, once you tell her that, this is very important. What's her next question or statement?
Nothing. Most women, when I tell them stuff like that, they sit there and quiet.
Because then they have to make a change and make
You
an
get a couple okays. I get it. All right, I understand. But for the most part, if that's going to a woman, it's like, And then it's just like, all right. And then I start talking to the kid and give him a haircut. The guys, on the other hand, you get a whole, because now we're men, we're bonding. I've been cutting their hair for years. Um, they know me, I know them, I know their families, I know their situation, I know what's going on. And I have guys with, situations where, them and him and his wife, they're not doing anything at home together intimately. And it's a big problem for years. He's trying this, trying that. But then, I get it. You're my homie now. But with a grain of salt, I'm only hearing one side of the story because I'm all about, I need to know facts.
Yeah.
So I talked to him like, hey, yeah, I get it. Try this, try that. I'll look things up myself. Um, but on the other hand, too, like, hey, but maybe you're just not doing something right. Maybe you need to watch a couple videos and learn a couple tricks. Maybe she's bored with you. Yeah, but yeah, listen, I'm just telling you, the same thing with, like you said, everyone handles taking love in a different way or
Mm-hmm.
giving it out. But the same thing with that. Maybe she likes it a certain way that you're not doing it right. I don't know. I'm not there. But this is something that you need to figure out. Test the waters. But for whatever reason, if she's really not willing to work it out, then we're back at this coworker thing where, well, then get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell guys, then you gotta go. I see situations now. I see guys, and I met the and I hear stories, and I'm like, bro, why are you with her still? And then I don't know if they might feel mad or tight sometimes, but I'm being like a big brother sometimes, and I'm like, bro, don't do it. You're wasting your time. I've been there. I've done that. Have your fun, but don't take it serious. And then some listen, some don't. Just like life.
Let me give a couple shout outs because I'm so happy of some of the people that are on today, but and then to go back to that because you hit a lot of important things. So buenos dias from Pookie and I to Milagros, Kathy Ruiz, Tiffany Bryant, Chanel Real Deal. Do you know Chanel Real Deal?
I think so.
My cousin.
Did she color her hair?
She has short hair.
But is it gray?
I don't know.
No, I'm thinking of someone else. It
Look, I
sounds.
can't
I'm
even
not good
answer
with
that.
names.
No, we need to get together more. I couldn't even answer that. What? I'm losing thing. My coffee, my lack of coffee. People don't think it's real. Lydia Rivera. Good morning, Iritza, Gwen, Liza Tuck, and Carmen Nieves. Yep, Carmen. I don't think I missed anybody else. Yes. Good morning, bienvenida. And I'm sorry, Lori's the one that's always typing everything in. That's not my gig. Um, Iris said that's great. So when you tell people that they don't want to face reality, some people just like the sound of their voice when they're expressing trauma, drama, and chaos.
Yeah,
So it's good what you do when you listen. And then sometimes to shut them up, I offer advice because I know they don't want to hear advice. They just want
exactly.
playing their violin. And you know what, dude, that's nice, but I'm into guitars. So we
Yeah,
got to put your tune up. So I think that that's one thing. One of the main things that people but what is it that I'm doing wrong? And then you're like, maybe because you're popping up like slut magic on social media, and
yeah.
then you be walking meekly with your child, then they
Hmm.
get offended. Like, how I can't believe he said that to me. Why? Because they're closed-minded. They don't
Hmm.
want to deal with change. They don't want to deal with life. And that right now they seem okay to be where they're at. Your job is to do exactly what you do. Is
Exactly.
plant that little seed because she wasn't ready when you told her, but who's to say she didn't go
Yeah,
home that night and reviewed her social media and be like, damn, didn't start to change right now because
but I don't see her on there anymore.
but yeah, but what I'm saying is didn't start right away, didn't call you,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
thank you because she was too busy in like OMG. And no one else told her. And sometimes it'll take a stranger or somebody you see every so often to be like, rip the band-aid off. Don't
Yeah,
ask me. I usually would tell people, don't ask me shit you
I'm,
don't want the truth to.
I'm the same way. I'm looking at her like you talking to me because you know how I am. We've had conversations in here, but you know what? I do what I do. I say what I say, and I just hope that someone, they just, you have your hit and misses.
Yeah.
For her, like I said, I don't see her online doing it anymore. She still comes to the shop, so obviously she still likes me.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't bring it up either. I
That's
don't
it.
ask questions. I don't ask anything. I don't care until you start talking to me.
That's
It's your
it.
business, and if you want to talk, cool. But then if I have something to say, I'm like, oh, hold on, and I'll start doing their mustache out of nowhere because now they have to shut up. So then now I have to now I can say what I really want to say, and you're gonna listen to me because you can't just leave. But you know how to play the game. I've been doing it for a long time, and I've heard it all. I've seen it all. You still see new things. You hear a lot of stuff, and it's. I love it for myself because then I learn a lot. It makes me think about myself and what I do because you're hearing stories that are similar or way different, but you're like, damn, I'm happy I didn't do it that way because look what this dude's going through. You know what I mean? And then you take it home to your wife or whoever, and now with her, it's like, we can gossip at home. We talk like this about different situations, just like she tells me with her work stuff. And it's not everything because some things, it's manly stuff. I know she's not going to get it. So you're just like, yeah, whatever. You kind of pass it off. But
That,
it's great for everyone. But these guys, they take advantage of it. But I've been cutting these guys for a long time. So it's hard to get the new ones open like that, or even then, it's hard just to get new people. I've had my son's sensei, one of the senseis. I cut both of their hair, but one of them comes in, the younger one, and he's young. He just started teaching. Great people, very nice family, but he's learning about these women, and you know, he's a good-looking guy. He's in shape. He's a sensei. He's teaching, and he's traveling, and he's tournaments and he'll get a girl and then he has this drama. But I'm looking at him like, bro, you're 23 years old. Like, why are you even having drama? Like, what's wrong with you? So we have our conversations and then you know what? But it's nice. And I get a text that night and he goes, man, I really appreciate that talk today. I learned a lot. And, thanks for that. I needed that because he was and I can tell he was having a bad day.
you see? But the insight to know when to start a conversation and when to stop.
Hmm.
And I think that is something not many own. You
No.
just keep on and in your head you're like screaming all kinds of profanity, and then in real life you're like bowing your head like, please shut up, please shut up. Uh, but I think that when you sit down, when your spirit, you have X amount of clients a day, but it's not everybody you touch those conversations with, right?
No.
It's not everybody you feel the need to eat, past the salutations. How do you want your hair, whatever, or what you already know. You get to work, he'll say something, you'll respond, you'll ask a question, he'll answer, and then that's it. But then the next person will come in, and it's like, you're Socrates. You
Hmm.
just, the philosopher of the year, and you're even
Yeah.
wondering where's this coming from? Like I knew it, but it just, you just speak. It rolls off your tongue. And then are you ever taken aback by advice you've given? Like, oh shit, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
When you're like in
Because
conversation.
yeah, it happens a lot because you're surprised. I'm not a big reader. I don't watch TV shows. I'm kind of just, I'd rather go out and shoot basketball around for a while besides just watching TV. So I kind of just like I see myself as like I don't know too much. I know
Mm.
what I know. I'm gonna say what I know, and if I don't know it, I'll tell you I don't know, or I'll just tell you no. Like I have no problem with that. At the end of the day, well, I'm just a barber. I don't know how to do plumbing. I don't know how to, make your girl come back. That's not me. But oh, there she is, Camille Cruz. She's waiting for me to come home.
Yeah, that's right, girl. Amen.
um, but yeah, but you have your days where it's like something just clicks and you're just on a roll, and then I shock myself and I'm like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
that'll be an extra $10. That was a little extra. Or I
But
tell them sometimes, hey, that's for free today. But It
That's,
happens.
but what I'm getting at is because you've been through things already. You've been through stuff other kids your age did not go through at that time. Would you say? Would
Yeah.
you agree?
Yeah.
And when we go through that, it's like we have the special anointment where there's just some people that we'll strike up conversations with and no need to have known them. And then we're like amazed at what we said. We're like, damn, what was it? That sounded good. And then you forget it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, that's because you are used as a vessel to save that person's life.
Yeah.
People people dismiss that because they
Yep.
don't want to deal with the fact that there's something bigger than us.
Yeah.
And that God has given us special gifts, special talents that put us in positions that we're at to deal with people
Hmm.
so that we can either direct them or maybe one conversation you had will erase the thought of suicide from their mind.
Yeah. I believe in that too. We're all here for a reason. There's a purpose. Like we went. I'm here with my brothers here too. We went yesterday. I come here. My mom's car is a mess. It's dirty. So I'm like, you know what? We got to take her car somewhere. And on that way too, I figured out that her back wiper is not working on the back of her car. So I'm like, we got to find a wiper for her because obviously she's been here how long? I haven't been down here in over a year. So I don't want this to happen anymore. It's my mom. So
Yes.
we go to AutoZones, we go to O'Reilly's, we're going to Advanced Auto. We're on Google. I don't know where I'm going because I don't know this area like that. So I'm trying to find all these places early in the morning, and we get there. No one has the wiper. No. So you know what I do? I text my mechanic back at home. Eddie, what's up? Hey, my mom's car here's whatever within 2 minutes. Oh, you have to go to the dealership only for that. All right, cool. Google dealership for her car. Talk for 2 minutes. Boom, we have it. I drive over there, get it. But it's like I said, the main focus was to get a car wash and get her car cleaned out. But then we got sidetracked by trying to find a wiper because you can't keep the window clean if there's no good wiper on there.
Mhm.
So now we get sidetracked. My brother's like, damn, we still didn't even get a car wash. But then as we're going to the dealership, all those other places didn't work for a reason to go to the dealership because what do we find on the way to the dealership? The biggest, cheapest, beautiful car wash you can see. It was like heaven just opened up and was like, hi, I'm
Oh
here. There's no line. We're fully staffed. There's like 5 kids out there cleaning the vacuum in the cars. And I'm like, this is amazing. So I was like, well, on the way back home, we're going to pass it. So, and it's just, and our brother's like, man, we can't believe we wasted all this time just looking for a wiper. And I'm like, no, it's not wasted time because we got everything done. It didn't happen the way we wanted to, but we kept the faith to keep looking. And then now we come home, and what's the result of it? My mom's happy. You
okay.
know,
Your mom is happy, but tell me this: the time that he's talking about that was wasted, were you three together?
no, just me and him.
Okay, so you and he were looking at all O'Reilly's,
Yeah.
AutoZone. So it wasn't. It was bonding time.
But that's what I told him. I was like, and we got this, but I said, how long we been out the house? Almost 2 hours to find a wiper and a car wash. We spent $30. It took 2 hours for us to spend $30. I was like, but I told him, I was like, well, we're at the car wash. And he was, all wasted time. Like, it's not a waste. I was like, he put us here for a reason. I was like, I haven't talked to you like this in how long either. He goes, you know what? You're right. And I was like, well, that's what it's about, bro. Stop. Don't forget AutoZone and stuff. But now we know for next time, or since you're down here with her, go right. Now we can go right there. The car wash is right there. That's it. And then the next time I come, I bet you there'll be something else wrong, and we'll be on another rampage to find it.
Of course, but that's the excitement of life.
Mm-hmm.
You have ordinary, just blah blah blah, and then we need that firecracker up our ass every now and
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. You
Whether
too.
it's for a wiper that we went to, I mean, it's not. It doesn't matter why. What matters is what did we learn in it, because there's
Mm-hmm.
good, there's bad, and then there's whatever, and then there's you.
Yep.
What are you going to ignore from your life, or what are you going to participate in?
Yeah.
Because it's not like we go to the grocery store and pick up a spirit here, pick up some knowledge, pick up maybe I should give a fuck. We don't do that. That's all innate within us. So
Yeah.
we have to awaken that. And I'm so happy that you're already there at your age. So someone mentioned it earlier, and I'm going to repeat it. Good morning, Maria, my little sister Desiree. I hope everything's fine with you, Titia Divya. Do they talk about sex?
Yeah.
Like, like what?
So like I
Act
like
like
I
that
said,
questions, but what?
like I was saying before, I had a guy, same thing with the problem with his wife. So it's lack of, he wants it, he needs it, she's not, whatever. But then you have your good and bad. Like, all right, I understand it. Maybe she needs help. Maybe she needs to talk to someone. You know, they do have kids, so obviously you did something at some point. But then again, I'm the both good and bad guy. You know, well, what are you doing wrong? What are you doing right? What does she need to do? What do you want her to do? And I'm not trying to get in people's business. I don't
Mm.
really give a shit. I'm good at home. But from my experience, what are you lacking then? You know what I mean? Or again, if it's not working, then if you can't fix it, then get out. You can still be a great dad. But that's a big part of life too, and relationships. Sex is a big deal, and people don't like talking about it. But when it does come up, I'm there just like anything else because I know what it is. I know how to do it, and I hope I'm good at it. I think I am.
Yo, I'm the
But with
bottom
that,
line. No.
but 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 with that in my mind, it's kind of just like I'm just that's all I have to go off of. So for some people, it'll work. You know what I have to say can will work, and for some others, it just might not. Or, you know, you still get those guys that just
I
why are
just want
you
to hear you say
asking me then? What why? What's the
they
point?
want the permission for to have infidelity. That's what I was gonna say next. A lot of men
Okay.
want to use that excuse about their women to go out and have affairs,
Yeah,
to have a fuck fest.
and I
And
see that too.
what happens is when they say, "Oh man, she's doing this, I need it, she's ignoring me, she's doing that." What they really want to hear is you're like, "Yo, then go find yourself a side
Yep.
chick."
Yep, fuck that then. You know, go do you. They want to hear that, but you're not gonna hear it out of my mouth.
Yeah, because what they don't want to do is do the work. Is understand the situation at home. Understand what is my wife going through that's
Yep.
affecting both of us. Or maybe it's me. Maybe I have ED and haven't realized it and she doesn't want to say nothing. Have a conversation.
Yep. Yep. Tell her. Just tell her the truth.
Look at Milagros what she said, and she's true. She's gonna be on Ajusta tu Corona tonight, and she talks about women issues and sex. Lo que yo digo, a la persona no le gustan hablar de sexo, and
They
that's
don't
her.
like to do it. Yep.
No, boy, you can't shut me up about it. I even do demonstrations. Look at the scissors. No. So, but yeah, and so that's what I find that a lot of people when want to complain about their partner. Oh, I think they're doing something, or he's just not the same. Okay, the same as what? What do you think
Yep.
he's doing? What are
Yeah.
you doing that has your antennas up thinking he's doing something?
Yeah.
Because it's always back to us.
Yep.
We're the main character.
Yep. Or what are you doing that you're thinking about him doing something?
Exactly. Guilty
Yeah.
conscience. It's
Yeah.
going to make you look at people differently because you need to hide behind this facade.
Yep.
So, and I find that too with just conversations that I have. And, I'll never tell nobody to cheat because that's
No,
cheap.
it is. For that, break up, go on your own, and then do whatever you want. And then now you don't have to look over your shoulder every 5 minutes. If
Yeah.
that's what you choose to do, just do it right. Protect yourself and whoever you're with, and have a field day. Like, if that's what you want to do, to me, there's nothing wrong with it as long as you're open, honest about it. Tell the person, hey, I'm not ready for a relationship. This is what you're going to get. Take it or leave it. And I bet you're going to find someone out there that's cool with it.
But there's so many. Do you find, and wait, hold on, let me answer a response. Desiree wants to know in English what Milagros said. What she's saying is Milagros speaks about sex education from teenagers up to adults. And she says that there are people that do not like when she talks about sex. And she does it flawlessly. So, but what was your last thing you said? Because I was going to talk about men again. The men and the women, I think that you deal with a lot of men we're Irish, of course, as women.
Hmm.
And when my there's some people that come over here for my coffee, and they're like usually my nieces or my daughter's friends. Um, and then they start talking, and you listen, and you always have to. What I'm learning is to listen with discernment, like not be judgy.
Yep.
So you just have to. Wait, someone says something. No, we were saying that we didn't say it that way. What we said was when a man wants to, is intending to, or is cheating, they will say something about their partner.
Hmm. They
Yeah.
need it. They need an excuse, and they
Yes.
want you to verify and clarify that excuse. So then now in their mind, well, he said it was okay. He must do it. So I'm not by myself. I'm going to go do what I have to do. And
Yes.
he's okay with that. But that's not how it works.
It is
You
not,
can't
because
just.
you keep lying and you keep adding to the
Hmm.
distress of every, and you could have the best relationship, but if there's a lack of communication in one area, because I know married couples who don't discuss sex.
Hmm.
We'll talk about it outside the bedroom. And they've been married for a while. Maybe they may be a little older. The younger generation is a little more flowy with that. But I think that we need to discuss sex the way we need to discuss paying the mortgage, the power, and the water bill.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Why
What
not?
what do you agree? You agree with that, right?
I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, and not every relationship is going to be a contract like J Lo had, where you have to have it so many times a day. But some people has it once in a while. You have a busy life. We have
Daniel
two.
said that. I missed that conversation.
This is a long time ago, but yeah, I remember hearing that she had like I forgot which guy she was with, but she had a contract supposedly, and was like she needs it like 2 to 4 times a day, and she had like structured sex times, I guess.
Um,
But I mean, to me, I can't. I told my wife one day, not even that long ago, I was like, and not just sex, but like if you really want me to do something, don't demand it, because now I don't want to do it.
yeah, who
And I
wants
don't care if it's you want flowers or sex, or how people are like, yo, what's that? Rap that line for me. Do that thing you do. How people beatbox or whatever it is, and they put you on the spot to do it and they freeze. That's not comfortable. But then that's how people treat sex too, because it's not out there all the time. So now when you hear that word, it's like, who's doing what? That's not me.
Mhm.
But again, but then that's like another sense of I guess failure. Like you can't have someone tell me you're not doing good at that. You're gonna not kill yourself, but you're gonna inside you're gonna be like, damn, like I'm that bad. Like imagine someone telling you you're not good in sex.
Yeah,
But that's like someone passionate about basketball. You get this guy who plays every day, and then you tell him like you ain't good, and then now it's this ego, and it's like, what? Well, let's play right now. So it's you get that guy mentality that comes
yeah,
out too. But that's why a lot don't want to talk about it, because once I started telling this dude, hey, well, maybe it's you. Well, what do you mean? I don't know. I'm not pushing you from behind, but you know
yeah,
what I mean? I'm
yeah,
Latin. I'm Puerto
yeah.
Rico. You're a white guy. You know what I mean? We get
Absolutely.
into conversations like that. Can you dance? Can you like I don't care. I say what I have to say.
When you ebb and flow, and I think um, within a couple, even before, I'm a wedding officiant and an ordained minister. So what I'm compiling now is a coaching package. If you hire me to marry you, I have a coaching package for the
Hmm.
couple for 3 months before the wedding. And they would have to, and in there is discovering who you are, and then learning about your partner with the love languages, with all of this, the likes and dislikes that we don't talk about in the beginning.
Hmm.
you know Something like, how do you put your shoes in the closet? My husband asked me that when we were dating, and I said, what do you talk? I throw them bitches in the closet. And he was like, he was a
Yeah.
toe shoe person, placed in the same spot, toe to toe. But what do? You need to discuss these things prior to getting married, because what if she is a prude? Or what if he never learned foreplay? We need foreplay. It takes us like what, 4 minutes to heat up after a guy's like
Yeah,
ready to go. So we need foreplay. I do that, educated about sex. Yeah. So a lot of men think it's just about the thrust and the the big boom at the end, but it's not. It's foreplay. It's you walking to the house and you smell your wife's cooking and you rub her ass.
yeah,
That's what all of that passionate, feeling loved, feeling good, feeling sexy
yeah,
comes right before the intercourse. So a lot of men, even in today's era, don't understand that. And a lot of women know they're missing something that excites them, know they want it with the partner they're with. They just don't know how to have the discussion.
hmm
Agree.
yeah.
You agree?
So yeah, I agree. But then that's where you gotta just talk. You have to just do it, or find someone like you that will talk about it, and let's have a little pop-up meeting. Like you have to figure it out, and it's not just sex; it's anything in the relationship because money's a big thing too. Um, time handling, stuff you got to do, chores in the house. Who's doing what? I do more than you. Well, I do this, you do that. We have game plans in our house. I hate laundry. No one likes to do laundry.
My husband did. What?
Not me. But
Quite young.
I found someone, so like I can wash clothes because I'm not doing much to me. I'm home on my day off. I'll play my video game or put a show on that I do watch. And then in between, I've changed the loads out. I'm not doing much, but folding and putting them away, I fucking hate it. I hate it. When I met her, she sits on the floor. She has her groups and stages of this folds there, this goes with that, this is his, this is mine. She has it done. And she would complain, "Oh my God, I wish I can fold all day." And I'm like, you like folding? Cool. I'll wash clothes all day. Give me whatever, throw it down the stairs. I'll do whatever you want. If I don't have to touch them to put them away or fold them at least, I'm cool with that. But that's something that we had to learn. But now that I'm washing all the time, but don't critique the way I wash. Oh, you do. Don't touch my washing machine. I have my shit set. Don't touch it. I add things the way that I add it. Nothing's gonna shrink. Nothing's gonna fade. You know what I mean? But I'm big on that with my own clothes because I was by myself for a long time, and I've, in the past was with somebody and shrunk my favorite hoodie, and I got pissed.
Yeah.
So we were together. I washed my own clothes without her stuff. And she would get mad, but I'm like, but you don't know how to wash clothes. I'll wash yours if you want. But again, it's okay to have those conversations.
It
I
is
don't like it.
absolutely, it's like breathing.
Yeah.
That's how people in relationships or heading into a relationship need to treat these deep conversations as though it's their life depends on it, because
Yeah.
you're going forward into this. And my husband loved doing laundry, and he loved folding them, and then he will put my stuff in way, because like he folded all his underwear and turned in his socks, and you know what, I just threw my panties in there because I don't know what color I wanted to be tomorrow. So if I
That's
folded them, I was gonna mess them up. But anyway,
yeah.
that was fine. That was the only thing he was allowed to do inside the house. He did the outside of the house, I cleaned the inside. And so these conversations need to be had. Why? Because it's good to learn what you do. Everyone washes their own clothes in my house, but I do the folding and I don't mind folding. You see? If you don't, then don't complain. That's what I tell
Exactly.
people. What are you complaining about? What did you try to have? Did you set a date with that person to either go to a Starbucks or a bookstore? If you know the person gets and want to hire their voice, then be smart. Go to a coffee shop, because then
hmm
everything's going to be normal, a normal conversation. You got to figure out where you're at, who you're with, and what you want. And I think that sex plays a very pivotal role in a relationship, especially when you're newlyweds or into something like that. Um, it does. It plays an important role. I tell you, when my husband was paralyzed and I was celibate for 5.5 years, those doorknobs were looking pretty fucking sexy to me. So, but when you have to have that sense of humor. Like people
Yeah,
think it's like taboo not to talk. While my husband was paralyzed, his friend came and he hugged me. I said, "Ooh, don't hug me too tight. I'm about to orgasm right here." And the guy didn't know
yeah,
what to do, right? And my husband's sitting there like, shh. He's like, "Man, she always like that."
yeah,
Why?
yeah,
Because it's part of me and I carry it with me. And if you get offended by how I speak with that, has no really, it's not disrespectful because it's just, it's like talking about anything. When
yeah.
you put sex in that box, that forbidden box, and then that's why people are uncomfortable with it. But it's like anything.
No, it's part of you. It's a part of you. It's a part of life. It's normal.
And not enough people talk about it, like you said, and then they end up in your chair complaining about the woman that is probably washing their clothes,
Yeah,
matching their
exactly.
up, cooking their food, and making sure their bank account doesn't go
Yep,
into a negative stance.
yep,
And so why aren't you talking about what she does good?
yep.
Because you can come together and say, listen, I'm missing this little bit of excitement in my life.
Yeah,
Tell
yeah,
her exactly what you want. Tell him, I don't take one for the team. I'd be like, what you doing? We ain't got
yeah,
time.
yeah,
And everybody's like, oh, I could never do that. I could never. I'll just endure it. I ain't enduring nothing. If I don't like it, I don't like it. If you're not doing it right, I'm gonna check you.
yeah,
And we're gonna say, stop in the middle, stop. Okay, let's just
yeah,
refresh. But that's my personality. And I think if we women were not so embarrassed or ashamed to tell our partners, I don't like what you're doing, or let's try something different, or I watch this, whatever, then you're cheating yourself. That person's not cheating you.
yeah,
That person's not giving you what you need. You are not asking for what you need.
yeah. And that's part of your relationship. You should be able to be comfortable enough to talk about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you don't like it, or if I know that she doesn't like it, I'll take a step back and maybe ease the conversation somehow. But it's got to get talked about. We can't just keep sweeping it under the rug because we're going to end up like everybody else. And I
Yep.
don't want that. I've been there, done. I don't want that. But if that's how this is going to be, then I'll just leave right now. Why even waste the time? But
Mm-hmm.
she knows that. And I know that about her. So that's what makes us bond even better. But something as simple as start with the laundry then. Like I'll tell this guy, well, then start with the laundry. Then help her do this. This is how me and my wife do it. I do it this day. She comes home and at this night, it might sit in the basement for a few days, but she'll get it done. I never go out without needing clean underwear because it's something's always done. But now we're teaching the kids that. We're teaching them teamwork. We're showing them more responsibility. It's not just about us either anymore. You have two kids at home, dude. So figure it out.
Yep.
Because what are you going to show them when they get older? To just hate mommy all the time? If that's how it's going to be, then get the fuck out.
Absolutely.
I don't understand that part. I don't get it. If you don't like McDonald's French fries, then why are you going to McDonald's to get French fries? You're going to go somewhere else, right? What's the difference? Bye, gotta go. Wasting my now you're wasting time.
People don't trust themselves enough. Their opinions, maybe. I mean, everything, as we said earlier, goes back to our childhood. So either you release that and start
Hmm.
fresh and learn something new, or you hold on to it and you walk around life like a victim. And when you walk around like a victim, you're gonna lose all the important people in your life because who got time for that? You're
No one
taking
has.
my energy, and I've been talking to you about this for 10 years now. What's up?
Yep.
So, I mean, and it's not about giving up on people. It's allowing people to really fall, to rise and be like, oh, I got to change this. Because
Hmm.
sometimes when we're there for them so long, we're enabling them not to take a good, deep look within to
Hmm.
start changes. And I love everything we talked about. I think we covered the questions that we had for you and then some. I love that you shared your laundry
Yeah.
load and the thing because that's important, especially so early in a relationship that you are where you are right now.
Yeah.
I think
Everything is in steps. You have to take small steps. And it's just nice, it's a simple high five. Good job, we did that today. And
and
whether it's
how
whether it's good
simple
sex,
is that? But
That's
how,
it. Whether
right?
it's good sex or whether it's laundry or dishes or dinner or she helped me take the garbage out. Whatever it is, we walk in the house and it's boom.
That's it. That's how
We're
beautiful.
done. We're done doing whatever we have to do at night, and then we roll over and good job. Like, but that's my homie too. So it's why not?
That's beautiful. Arlene, thank you for coming, Arlene Kelly. And then my sister's on. Hi, beautiful sister. Um, look what Kathy says. So much wisdom here. Thank you. Chanel said, look at Camille's on it. Girl, teamwork makes the dream work. Yes. Awesome. I think that we only have like a minute. Oh, we're going over a little bit. But if you had something to say to the men, because you're a barber, so I want you to speak to the men. What would that message be right now?
Humble yourself.
Okay, humble yourself.
Humble yourself. Um, let the egos go. That's the biggest thing I see. Um, and it's okay to be open, but to be open, you have to be real with yourself first. Weigh
Mm-hmm.
the good, weigh the bad, the pros, the cons, the ins and outs. You have to look at everything, not just, well, this is just how I do things. Well, sometimes you have to tweak it for somebody else too. The same
Yes.
way you're mad at them or don't like them, or you pick and choose your friends. I bring this up to people. I'm like, well, I've known you've been best friends with this person for 20 something years. Did you guys ever break up and come back and break up and never talk? No. You have your days you argued, you had your dislikes, you had your confrontations with each other. Me and my best friends, sometimes we do. But at the end of the day, is bro, you want to get something to eat because I still love the dude. So you treat her the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give her dap and rub her head and do all the manly good game and the ball. Like you can do that if that's what you want to do, but then now again, you have to learn her, or nowadays if you're with whoever nowadays, but learn them, humble yourself, and put your shoes in their feet. You know, my biggest thing, and I'm still working on it to this day, is I have to learn to woo saw a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because if I know something, I know something, and I'm gonna say it. But then sometimes I'm like, all right, let me shut up real quick because maybe I'm overthinking it. This is where she comes in, and she's my other, that type of shit. Like, you're hungry, you're cranky, So I'm like, all right, let me just. I'm gonna go in and shut up. I'm gonna go change, take a shower. But that's where she does for me, and I'm still learning now. I'm not perfect either.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, guys, humble yourself, and it's okay because you're not the only one. And I think that's the biggest thing too, is that women have each other to gossip and say all these things. It's hard for guys to go to another guy because I don't want to let them know about my sex drama. I don't want to let him know that I can't get it up, or I don't want to let him know that my arm is messed up so I can't. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to feel like any less of a man than you already are. Now you're coming to someone like me that I know a lot of shit. I know a lot of people. I'm not going to go tell nobody anything. You know what I mean? But that's my word with my guys in the shop and women. But it's hard to have that initial conversation. So that's why I don't mind humbling myself and listening and be like, all right, well, this is what I did. But then again, I'm still learning from you also.
Mm.
Well, you too. I'm on your. I watch. Well, everybody. You is everybody. I'm talking. I'm talking to that guy over there that is going through drama at home and doesn't know how to step up and just speak out.
And that's that. Look at Kathy says, never go to bed angry. Married since 84. To my love, communication is so important for us. Yeah. And I think if you go through life and you learn not to lie to yourself and you accept yourself with all its flaws, high points, and weaknesses, and then when you come together with somebody, you always work on it because we're always a work in progress until our last breath. But what I want to say is that when nunca te engañe, don't lie to yourself, so that when you're faced with these dilemmas, you can honestly say, I am having some issues. I don't know what it is, but sometimes it doesn't work. I have these conversations with my son. Two of my male friends, my closest friends, we talk about it all the time. So let's just start with the communication. We're gonna keep on. I want to have you back on because the time is over, and I.
Yep.
So your last words was humble yourself, be open, communicate, keep it real. Keep it real. That's what we
That's
got to
it.
do with ourselves. We expect other people to keep it real, but then we're like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
So holding ourselves with Elmer's glue, right? So we're falling apart. So Jonathon, thank you. I mean, the fan base was real today.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Good.
Camille, for coming on. Iris and Iris with Giselle's new Alina. You know Alina Gutierrez. She said, "Hey, Pookie."
Yes.
Yeah.
She's all over the place with her realtor stuff.
Yes.
Going really well.
And Jaja Jajita. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming on today, for supporting Jonathon, Pookie, Cruz, and myself. The conversation was phenomenal. We need to hear more so that we can better understand our better halves, because sometimes we think we know it all.
Yep.
And we need to understand that you guys are just as open, just as fragile, just as sensitive, and just as loving. So with that, mi gente, Jonathon, thank you. Do you want them to know how to get in touch with you? Or are you not open for
Well, my name says that I have my with my name at Feel How You Look. That's my Instagram name, and it should be linked to my Facebook. And then if you go on there, my business card's on there. You find whatever you need. That's the easiest way.
Okay, great. And on a side thing before I leave, my nephew has been going to Pookie for years.
Yeah, Geo.
And he will outgrow his hair, looking like a caveman, but he refuses to be disloyal to his barber. Now that says a lot in a child who it's all about looks nowadays, and he won't care. He won't care to grow it out and look like until Pookie has an appointment. And I think that right there, when I heard, and I'm like, just go down the street. If Pookie is busy, he got red. And he says, no. And that's when I showed up with them after that. And that right there tells me a lot about you, Mr. Jonathon Pookie Cruz. So keep up the good work.
Good.
Stay real. Stay giving out advice, and keep loving your family with the most purity that you do. And with that, mi gente, thank you, Viva Tribe. And I am the Gladiator Guru. And remember, breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Bye.